What's up, Mecha Army? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. It is Friday. We made it. We are hopefully ending the stream strong this week, and going into the weekend on a high note. So that's the intent, anyways. Real quick, guys, let's get some business out of the way. If you're out and about and you need some awesome decals for your models, go pick up some. And then, too, if you need merch, like awesome shirts and hoodies and hats and posters and stickers and things, shop.childofmecha.com. Why not go pick up a Grim Reaper shirt with the new arm design and everything? It's fucking dope, right? I mean, look at this. It'll make you look like $1 million, like I look right now. I am amazing looking right now. The drip, as the kids say, is wild. So, I don't know. Anyway, what's going on there, kids? Yeah, go get you some stuff from the Child of Mecha store. Support your boy, appreciate it, all that good stuff. Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit. Anyway, what else? Posted a new installment of the super secret project for the members and everything on the YouTube channel. When did I post that? Yesterday. So that's up, and I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about the super secret project. I think this super secret project will be really cool for this model and everything. So, but you got to be a member to see what it is. I mean, eventually you'll see what it is, but to see the process and the progress and everything, it's very interesting stuff. So, yeah, go check that out. And also, too, check out the question of the day for the live stream. Would you prefer a 5-minute intro? Or do we stick with the 10-minute intro? Or does it even matter? I don't know. I want your input. The reason why I ask is because there's a whole big flubub on Twitter about small streamers and the intro of it, right? So we utilize a 10-minute intro, and the thought process behind that is, for you guys to, kind of get loaded in, get settled, get comfortable, and all of that. And then we kind of hit the ground running like this, right? So, people are going back and forth. Oh, small streamers should only do a 5-minute intro, if nothing, blah, blah, blah. Just go fucking stream, And it's just like, I don't know. I want your input. So, there's a vote. There's a poll on the YouTube side of things. So, go and vote on that. Or answer the question of the day, either or. Let me know your input. I wanna know. Yeah. Anyway, let's get caught up in the chat real quick, and then we'll get to work. Now, let's see. Before the universal chat kicked in, Mr. Julius was was first in the chat. He says, "Happy Friday and happy end of the month." Right? It's the end of the week and end of the month. It's like all of it combined. It's a triple-double or whatever that is in basketball. I don't know. I don't follow basketball. Basketball is not my deal. Anyway, Bill also is with us. He says, howdy, y'all. And then the universal chat kicked in. We have Andrew, Mr. RF Aurora. We've got Javier, Mr. Gunplay Uruguay. He just got some cool paints in from Display. I don't know how you pronounce the fucking thing. But he got like a whole set of Display. I think it's Display. I don't know. He got the whole set of paints. And he posted them on his Instagram story, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, they looked interesting, some of the colors and everything. So Javier, man, let me know how those work for you, buddy. I'm I'm kind of interested. Post your results in the community or something like that. I'm sure everybody would be interested to see what those are like. Let's see. Andrew answered the question of the day. Dealer's choice. Fair. He also says my Master Grade Rick DS project is on hold until I can get to a hobby shop for some milliput or some other putty I can use to make a template and styrene sheet. Do you mean plot plate? Anyway, Andrew, he also said, let's just say I had a what would Tim do moment, decided to go all in. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I like it. I like it. Mr. Mecha Coffee Joe is with us. What's going on, Joe? Good to see you, buddy. Joe is a regular viewer of George's in the morning, so I'm actually kind of surprised you're up this late, dude. But hey, thank you for watching regardless. That's awesome. Let's see. Bill wants to know where Andrew's located. He's in Illinois, and he says if you give me a country, state, city, some sort of idea, I can try to locate some shop that delivers to you. That is, unless you... Oh, hey, new follower. Acro Studios over there on Twitch. Thank you for the follow and welcome to the show, and thank you for the follow. Welcome to the family, I should say. So very cool stuff. Excellent. But yeah, so Bill's a hound dog, man. Or bloodhound, I should say. Hound dog is a bit of a different moniker, but no, I mean he will hunt products down for you if you ask him nicely. So yeah, dude, good looking out there, Bill. Andrew says I'm going to be making the trip in person. I need to get some paints and like to look at them in person. Oh yeah, paints in my opinion is always one of those things that is best done in person to actually kind of see what the paint looks like. I mean, you got to look at the bottom of the jar to really get a good understanding of what that looks like, and even post it online. Different picture settings and monitor settings can leave that, there can be some ambiguity there. So yeah, I agree. If you're shopping for paint, try to do it in person if you can. Let's see. Andrew goes to Walt's Hobby Shop in Crest Hill. Usually has what I need. There you go. All right, good deal. Let's see, where do we go? Andrew says, Tim, I think you need to add redacted to the super secret project. I think he's meaning claw plate. Ugh. Mr. Charles Dodge, he's over there holding it down on Twitch for us. He says, evening. What's going on, Charles? You absolute legend. Let's see. Bill answered the question today. Honestly, many streamers have done away with intros now. I don't mind an intro as long as it serves a purpose. Yeah. And, the one thing that I think I always, the philosophy that I always went with was it gave you guys kind of a buffer time to, like I said, kind of get loaded in. The stream is starting and soon, and all of that, and kind of gives you a chance to, say your highs and hows and all of that too. And there's some fun things that I think we can add to that. I mean, a lot of the times back in the day, we used to do the, what shirt is Tim wearing game and everything. Now, mind you, my shirt collection isn't up to the level to play that game again, but in the future, that was always fun. And I think people had a lot of fun with it as well. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of like the intro still, but maybe shortening it. I don't know. But that's the importance of the poll and the question of the day. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And you guys over there on Twitch, too, you guys are really quiet, and you guys are, like, lurking and stuff. Other than Charles, he just says evening and stuff. But still, let me know. Gio's with us. He says, hello everyone, trying to finish the real grade Toggies, but I don't think it's going to happen. Is there any reason why? Let us know, Gio. What's going on, buddy? Did you run into like a hiccup or something? Let me know. Javier, Mr. Gunpla Uruguay, he says, right on. I just primed a few spoons to test a few basic and a few metallic colors. Ooh, all right. Nice. Mr. Kelvin is with us. He says, "Yabba dabba doo, what time is it?" I say again, son, what time is it? Answer, it's a fun-filled time with, what's the host name again? Oh, hey. Time. Yeah, thanks, Kelvin. You wrote all that and you can't even spell my name right. Come on, man. You're better than that, Kelvin. Come on. Kelvin, welcome. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's see, Andrew says, I mean, if they have it thick enough at the hobby shop, it could qualify as plot plate, even though it's not from Tamiya, right? Let's see. Bill says, for those who have not seen it, he says, I posted the best shirt in the store on the community. The Blue Bone. All right, let's take a look here real quick. Let's take a field trip. Hang on, let me get it pulled up here for you guys. Let's see. Come on now. Go to your channel, go to the community, go to the newest posts. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Yeah, there it is. Oh man, the Bloody 13. That gets a like. Nice. Yeah, this insignia took fucking forever. Just because of the intricacy of the, lines and everything. But yeah, I mean, it came out pretty good. It's very accurate to what it looks like in my book and everything. And here we got the post from Kelvin posting, his little experimental plates and things like that. And then, ooh yeah, see, I like the color here that Geo is going with the tall geese. Yeah, Geo, don't scrap this, buddy. Keep going with this. I love that bronze and green. That's super nice looking. Oh, look at that. And he's got even little pops of kind of that bright ass yellow. Yeah, that's looking good, dude. I dig this. Like, the tall geese looks really good in this color scheme right here. Really, really good. Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. And then what do we got here? Mikey, he says, just had a thought. The Turn A came from outside the solar system, right? And the aliens come from outside too. So just maybe this new series is a low-key prequel to Turn A? I mean, I hope not. And then, of course, we got the murder egg by our friend, Mr. Anthony. The murder egg's looking really good, I'm not gonna lie. I love the hex patterns and everything. That is super cool, man. But yeah, dude, if you're not taking part in the community, I highly suggest it. It's a fun time. Get over there and post your stuff. Let's see. Bill says very vibrant print. Yeah. Well, and that's yeah, Printful's good, man. Printful's high quality, dude. Hell yeah. Let's see. Andrew says, nice insignia on that shirt. Who is it again? It's the Blue Bone Squad. Blue Bone Squad. Kelvin says, pit stop edit, remove the E. Right? Yeah, there you go. Mr. Joe, he says, yeah, my day usually runs 6 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Intros are your choice, really. If it helps, you use them. Yeah, Display is my fave tool to use. There we go. Nice. Let's see. Bill says, Kelvin, not sure you read my reply on your scribing post, but if you have nothing else going with those squares, you could turn them into a tabletop terrain and maybe even sell it. Nice. Let's see. Todd's with us. He says, hi, just putting this out there. I might be back on here sometime in the near future after my week getting turned upside down and I'm dealing and struggling with my mental health, so I'm focusing on myself. I gotcha. He says, take care. Todd, I don't know if you're still on, but I saw your message earlier. I was just very, very busy, and I'm sorry I couldn't reply to you, but I will try to do that here after the stream, maybe tomorrow or something. So, buddy, yeah, take care, man. I know you've kind of hinted that it's been a tough week, so yeah, life be lifing, like, you know, Bailey and we always say, but yeah, you are the priority. Take care of yourself, yeah? Let's see. Bill says, blue bone, not blue ball. Which you might be more familiar with, Andrew. Oh, Kelvin says I did with the reply. And Andrew says, take it easy to Todd. Yeah, definitely. Man, we're worried about Todd. Todd's a good dude. Todd's a good dude. All right. Good deal. All right, so let's get to work, yeah? Let's go camera 2. And then let's reach over here and grab the Shiki. Let's get the 1, 2, 3s out of the way and kind of let me show you what I did with the boosters here. Because I did some work after the stream yesterday. I was probably in the studio 8 hours yesterday working on this thing and, you know, creating, you know, a couple videos and stuff like that. So here's what we got so far. This is the booster. If you watched the short, the reel, you know, the TikTok, whatever your platform of choice is, this is kind of where we are with it now, right? This is looking really freaking good, and I'm very, very happy with it thus far. So some things that I got done yesterday off stream, and yeah, I cheated a little bit, but let's see. Oh, that's getting blown out to hell. Well, the shadow maybe. It's a little bit better. But anyway, you can kind of see, let's see. You can kind of see the things that I did here with the arm. I outline scribed the boom arm or whatever we're calling that. Did the plating there on top, that little transitional piece. Did a little scribing around it and all that. That's looking really nice. I like that. Filled this little void here. It just didn't make any sense. So that's looking real nice. We're gonna probably do a little plating over top of that. And then the big part was the bottom here. Got this all cleaned up. This is all outline scribed around here. Now that is actually a recessed part. These side pieces here are actually higher than this middle section. That's just, you know, how it comes stock. But did some scribing around, you know, this inner panel here. And then the big thing that I did was I lowered this section here, probably about a 0.5 millimeter. And just used chisels and the good old God hand blade, you know, chisels here, the ones that are really, really sharp. Used both of those to lower this surface here, just, you know, kind of gradually, and then just kind of tapered it in, and that left a really, really nice clean line there. You can kind of see that surface there. It looks really good. I'm really digging that quite a lot. But there you can kind of see all the scribing that we did and everything, and then put just a little outline scribe right there. Oh no, right there. Little separation for that little panel and everything. But that looks good. So we're going to continue working on this thing, keep driving this thing forward here tonight. So let's get the pod fuel tanks out of the way here real quick. Let's get caught up in the chat one more time before we get started, and we'll go from there. Let's see. Andrew has a question.
We have a question.
Let's see. He says, how would you go about making a rounded edge on styrene, roughly a 1/4 inch thick. So if the styrene itself is 1/4 inch thick, right? So are we talking let me illustrate. So Andrew, imagine this is your piece and imagine this is 1/4 inch thick, right? Are we talking the kind of top edge around the perimeter, or are we talking about the corner just rounding this over? Which one are we talking about? Because that matters actually quite a lot. Because if we're talking about a profile all the way around top edge, okay, so profile basically. That's tough. Honestly, the easiest thing to do would be a router, a handheld router. Now, not everybody has access to a handheld router, right? So if it's 1/4 inch thick, maybe an 1/8 inch round over bit, something like that, that would be the easiest thing because you could just and be done with it and it'd be very, very quick, right? But again, not everybody has access to that. So at that point, what I would probably say, you'd have to really go manual with it. Get you a nice big file and just start filing that profile down. Now, it's not going to be as even as opposed to if you were to use a handheld router, but it can still be done. So yeah, nice big old, bastard file, some heavy duty kind of sanding blocks and things like that. All of that would basically be, needed for something like that. But yeah, man, like I said, the easiest thing would, just be like a little handheld trim router. I have a nice rigid, it's a corded little trim router that I use way more than my big boy router. I honestly haven't used my big, my big router with the, the larger bits in, God, years. The handheld trim router is way, way, way easier to work with, in my opinion. So yeah, 1/8 inch round over bit, 1/4 inch round over bit. That would give you a full profile and no kind of flat edge or anything like that. But yeah, if you have that, that would be the best. Now that I think about it, don't do a quarter inch to a 1/4 inch unless you have a piece. Let me rewind this and kind of explain why I say that. With 1/4 inch material and with a 1/4 inch round over bit, there's nothing for the bearing on the round over bit to be guided on, right? So it would end up being a mess. Now you can place that 1/4 inch piece of plastic on top of a guide piece, like a template style piece, and do it that way. That would be easier. Double-sided tape, what have you, works wonders there. But yeah, I would probably say 1/8 inch at most. That's half the thickness of that. Probably, for your round over, if you're going the router, method there. Let's see. Andrew says, second question.
We have a question.
He said, how wide is that boom arm? It actually tapers down because it starts thick up here and then tapers down, right? So at the base, at the kind of back end of this thing, what is it? I think it's like 5-ish
4.5. But then down at the bottom here, it tapers down to about 3.5.
So it's a gradual taper, but obviously, you know, you can definitely see it there. So yeah, that's it. It varies. It varies. Let's see, Andrew. Do you mean a quarter or half round, or just rounded edge? You would definitely want to stack several sheets to get up to that 6 to 7 millimeter total thickness. I see. I thought he already had, according to this, this is roughly a 1/4 inch thick. Yeah, I thought he had already that. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see. Kelvin says to Bill, also thanks, but the blue and pearl one was not to my better level. I'm going to try Display plastic sheet. There you go. Yeah, no worries, Kelvin. Yeah, top edge. Andrew says, frack, looks like a trip to Harbor Freight might be in my future too. Yeah, I mean, you can get some good tools at Harbor Freight. Hell yeah. Sorvan's over there on Twitch as well. He says you can draw guidelines to help make the profile more even. That is true. You know, top, you know, like say on the top, you can, you know, kind of have a, you know, your 1/4 inch in, and then on the bottom, you know, you just go from the edge and everything, and yeah, you can kind of connect the two. So yeah, good call there, Sorvan. Good call. Enrico's with us. He says, Buenos noches, familia. What's going on, Enrico? Buenos noches. Andrew says, we used to have a big router, quit working though, and we have never replaced it. Yeah, I mean, the big ones are kind of a pain in the ass, I'll be honest with you, unless you're working with a larger piece of material. For smaller things like what we use, the handheld trim router is a perfect tool. It's got good power, it'll run through plastic like butter, and Harbor Freight has really good tools, and their router bits are actually really good too. I bought a 45-degree chamfering bit from there, and yeah, it does a great job. I was surprised actually how nice it worked. So yeah, man. Bill says, for a hand tool, check out this type of tool for pull Q tips. What are we doing here? A rasp sander for Q tips. What? What the hell is that? There was one picture and it was just a rectangle. Weird. Anyway. Yep, Andrew says, thank you, Bill. He says, my pleasure. Thank you for those measurements, Tim. A Sturm is coming, and I need the help to match the high-grade version, but with more detail added. Oh, I gotcha. Interesting. All right, so now that we're caught up, let's get to work. Yeah? So, let's see. All right, so we got this. Let's break this down again. Let's get the thruster bell out of there. Let's get the cowl off of there. Let's get that out of there. Oh, I also took the amount of time to outline, scribe. You can kind of see there the inside of those hoses and features and stuff. So when this is painted up, that's going to catch the panel lining fluid, and that's going to look really, really good. And I also just kind of scribed in those horizontal lines there and everything, and then also rescribed that notch. That came pre-molded, but I rescribed it. So, all right. So with that being said, let's get back into this here and see what else we need to do with this guy. Now, this all up here is looking really, really good. I don't think I want to mess around with any of this anymore, because I'm happy with it, right? I'm happy with that.
all the scribing and everything here looks really good. Happy with all of that. I think the biggest thing that we need to tackle on this is kind of down here on the boom arm itself, right? Now, this had an indent, kind of like this guy here. And I'm not going to worry about filling this in because this is going to be blocked by the fuel tanks anyway, so it doesn't really make a whole hell of difference to me. But this void up here was an eyesore in my opinion. So I think what we're going to do is probably do something, and I'm just kind of mocking this up, somewhat along kind of echo this type of look. Maybe not that shape or anything, but something like that. Maybe just a strip, you know, down just the very, very end of this top surface, down this kind of long slanted surface, and then maybe just, you know, wrap this over and kind of see what that looks like. I think that'll look pretty nice. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do first. So I'm thinking 2mm by probably 0.5mm, something like that. Yeah, I think that, what is this, 2.5mm? Yeah, I think that's 2.5mm right there. No, it might have been 2. Let me get the calipers out and see. Yeah, that's 2mm. All right, so let's use that. So this is 2 by 0.5 mil, and we're gonna just wrap this around here. Oh my God, my cat will not shut up. Hang on one second, you guys. Let me see what this mangy feline is doing here. What are you doing? Sabi, what do you want? Do you want to come in and say hi? Come on. Yeah, come on in. You flea-ridden varmint. Come on. What? Yeah, well, come on. Let's go say hi to everybody. We're going to go say hi. Come on. Yeah, I know. Come on. Yeah, I know. Well, come on and let's say hi to everybody. Come on. Yeah, I know. I know. You need attention. Let's go. Here, come over here. Come over here. Come over here. There you go. Here, can you get up here? Here, get up here. Get up here. Here, up here. Come on. Get up here, you dummy. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's see. There. See, this is what I have to deal with. What are you doing? What? Yeah, hi. She is sweet. She is very sweet. This is Wasabi. She, believe it or not, she is full grown. She's like 8 years old. So, yeah. Sabi. Oh my God, stop. Now you can't stay in here, okay? Yeah, I'm just letting you say hi to everybody on the stream. Okay, hey, get over here. Get over here. Oh yeah, there you go. Yep, say hi. Look, here, right there. Say hi to everybody. You dummy. Don't do that. Come on. Ay, ay, ay. Blech. You and your shedding. All right, I'm gonna kick you out now. Now that you've had your time on stream. So, all right, come on, dummy. Come on, dummy. Let's go. Come on, out, 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 out. Go, go, go. Get. All right, stop bothering me. Oh my. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. That was, like I said, that was Wasabi. She is one of my 2 mangy felines that require attention constantly, especially her, but she is adorable, so can't complain. Anywho, all right, let's get this done. Just squared off one side here, And what I think we're going to do is, like I said, is, oh, go to camera 2. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, so basically just wrap this over a few of these surfaces here. So let's start by doing that. All right. So first things first, I'm going to cut just a small little strip here, just like that. Now I purposely cut it at an angle, so I know which side is square, right? So that's actually monumentally important, because if it's not square, then you're gonna regret life. So, all right. So get that put into there. Let's get some super glue out on our palette. And that's good enough. All right. Get that lined up. That looks good. Press that into place. And then hit this with just a little drop of kicker. There we go. So that'll start to activate. All right, and then let's get the end of this clipped off here. We're going to start our shaping with all of this. Okay, so far so good. Looking nice. We just follow the contour of the surface that we're about to glue to. That's looking pretty good right there. Let's do just a little bit of shaping here. Yeah, there we go. Get that nice and even for the next strip that we lay down. Now, we don't necessarily, since we're kind of strapping this around multiple surfaces here, it's not a big deal if this particular piece is straight at both ends. We just need to get it aligned properly. That's the most important thing. So I'm going to just clip off the excess right there. And then we'll get the super glue back out again. Now I'm going to actually apply the super glue to the surface itself, and then spread it out with my little needle applicator tool thing, just like that. That's good. All right, so again, placement is crucial. Here we are. Press that into place. Let's get that activated. Boom. All right, very nice, very, very nice. Good deal. Good deal. What has he got? Let's see what we've got here. Let's see. Andrew says, Tim, since it's not the Hyaku Shiki anymore, you should call it the Mock Go Go Go. Okay. Bill says, Tim, here is another listing of those to give you an idea. Cheap ones are plastic and they go up from there. These just hold sandpaper strips. Oh, and a curved handle to make a consistent rounded surface. Okay, let me take a look and see what we got here. I'm guessing this is an Amazon link. And it is. Oh, okay. I gotcha now. Okay, now I see the profile. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I mean, that could definitely work in terms of, like, finishing, you know, for Andrew's project and everything. But, man, just going straight at it with something like that would be, whew, that would be a long project, a long haul. Hell yeah. Gundam Mach 1, Gundam SS, Gundam Pole Position. God, that was a great Saturday morning cartoon. And Bill says, and now I have the 80s cartoon theme song playing in my head, right? Yeah. Mach Shiki, yeah. Edwin, Mr. RSA, he says, good morning to everybody. Edwin, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, man. All right, there we go. Let's get back to this, because this should be completely cured at this point, and it actually looks like the kicker is evaporated as well. Let's just make sure of that. Yep. Nice, nice, nice. We got good squeeze out on both sides. That's good. Filled any voids. All of that. Excellent. All right, so let's get the end clipped off there. Get this section clipped off as much as possible there. It's kind of hard to get the knife in there, but let's try and trim this back. Okay. Getting there. Okay. Looks pretty good right now, but we're going to need to do some trimming and some other shaping on that. So that's not finished just yet. Now let's get this super glue trimmed out here. Now, we got to be a bit careful with this. So feels like we got it separated from the side of the piece. Now let's get it separated from the bottom here. We need to do this kind of carefully. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, see that little shard of super glue squeeze out? Yeah, it's coming off. Yeah, it's coming off pretty good right there. All right, excellent. We're gonna have to use a chisel to clean that surface up, but so far, so good. Yeah. Pretty good. This side's not as bad, thankfully. Okay. Just like that. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're doing good. There we go. All right. Perfect. So, get this surface evened up there. Very nice. Very nice. All right. And then this surface here, the angle's a bit uneven, so we need to shape this down just a bit. Okay. Better. It's getting there. It's getting there. Here we go. Let's use the file. Okay, good deal. All right, so now let's really kind of clean up the sides here on this piece. And for that, I've just got my 0.6 millimeter chisel. Let's start just by scraping first and see what we get here. That side pretty good. That side's not bad. Pretty smooth, pretty even, thankfully. So I'm not hating that. Now this other side, that's going to be a bit of a different story, I feel. Good, 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 good. All right, excellent. So that's nice and cleaned up. Those edges are looking really good. Attention to detail, man. That's really what it comes down to. Attention to detail. Now, this edge, this corner right here is not, it's not even, and it's not perpendicular or 90 degrees or anything like that right now. So work this down a little bit more here. Yeah, all right, that looks much better. All right, good, 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 good. All right, so there's that kind of raised detail there now, and that's looking good. I like this. This is nice. Nice and even. Everything looks nice and clean. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and outline scribe that here to kind of really make it look separated. And before we do that, let's get caught up here real quick in the chat. Let's see. Edwin says, joke, woke up, Tim, paying off my sleep debt. There you go. Watching your stream before going to my friendly local game store. Oh, nice. Nice. Well, enjoy it, Edwin. Hell yeah. Yeah, Bill wants to know what game. Warhammer 40K. Today will be the 11th edition tutorial. Interesting. I have no idea what that means because I'm not into Warhammer or anything like that. But Bill says, nice. I have not gotten a game in since 11th launched, but we are setting one up for boarding actions soon. Okay. Bill says, if this was me, that strip would have popped off and the blade gone right into my finger. Hell, I cut my finger on the plastic tray below my car battery when I was pulling it yesterday. Oh man, yeah, it happens. Cuts happen, you know. The blade bites you. Part of modeling, kids. Part of modeling. Anywho, all right, let's get this outline scribe. Now, since this is such a thin area on the sides, I'm not going to go with my normal 0.20. We're going to go with the standard 0.15. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, it's a difference. It is a difference. So, all right. Just start off real light. The last thing you want to do is run into an invisible blob of super glue and it just go and make the line all messy and everything. So but I think we got a nice straight edge here. Very good. All right, and then wrap this around the top. this side, I want to be, yeah, see, a bit careful because there's just a little blob of glue right there that we missed. And also right down here. All right. Yeah, there we go. I think we got it. All right. Good deal. All right. Just make sure this line is a decent depth here. Looking good. Ooh, got a little stoppage right there. It's running into some resistance. I don't know what's going on. Probably a little pocket, little air bubble or something like that in the super glue underneath. But that's fine. Not a big deal. We worked through that. Okay, good deal. Now, I'm not gonna, well, do I want to wrap that around? No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to scribe this line straight across here. Now, when you're scribing lines, you want to focus, well, hyper focus on the corners and getting those nice and sharp. Yeah. Very good. All right, let's decorate this thing a little bit more. We've got it nice and outlined there. You can kind of see the edge right there. That's looking really good. Yeah. All right, let's get this thing decorated. Now, what I want to do, First things first. I'm gonna use, no, I'm not gonna use that one. I'm gonna grab big ol' 3mm blade out of this God Hand set here. Get that locked in. Now, what I want to do is I want to bevel this edge here. And what I'm just going to take that and just slam that home just a little bit, just to take off that corner. Very nice. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, let's get this guy out of here. Back to his home. All right, I don't know if this is going to translate, but yeah, you can see right up here how that is now beveled. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. That's looking good. All right, so additionally to that, I do want to put in a bit of a notch here at the bottom, right on the back edge. And no, I don't want the 0.6. I want the big old 1 mil. And let's see. Yeah, this will look good. So I'm going to start on this short edge first, just because it's easier to get placement and positioning. Yeah, good, good, good. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. And we're just taking a sliver, little sliver off at a time. We don't want to take too much off because it will take off the side of the plastic along with it, right? It'll basically blow out the edges and everything. So now I'm going to try. To start to scrape this down a bit. Basically what we're doing here is just trying to get this edge set here. And the more we take off, and the higher that those walls get, the better that we're going to be. Now, I'm going to switch over to the 1 mil God Hand blade here and really kind of go to town on this this edge, this back edge here. It's all very, very delicate, intricate, time-consuming, tedious work, but the devil is in the details. Okay, that looks good. Get the little shards of plastic off of here that are a little stubborn. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah. There you go. You can see that little notch in there. That is what we're looking for. That's looking good. All right, so now we're going to wrap that little notch up to the top. Now again, I'm going to start off with my BMC. The BMC, a little bit more robust, obviously, than, you know, the God Hand. And I find it's better at kind of scraping and getting that initial plastic moved out of the way. And then to finish up, to smooth everything out, then the God Hand comes into play. But for this, I'm going to start wrapping this around with the BMC. This right here, quite frankly, is the most crucial and nerve-wracking part, because you don't want to, like I said, you don't want to blow out the side of the plastic. Okay. That starting to look really nice. Starting to look really nice. Now, I mean, it's such a small little detail, right? But in my opinion, it looks really, really good. Let's see, focus, focus, focus. There we go. And it's not gonna allow you guys. Oh, there it is. There's the little shadow of it. Yeah, and it just wraps around. It's just, I don't know. There's something about this type of detail that just really, really looks good in my opinion, and it's definitely worth the effort. Switching over to the God Hand to really fine tune and clean this guy up here. Yeah. Very nice. Very, 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 very nice. I'll show you here in a second. But that is a finished notch there. It's looking nice. So get that put away, get that covered. Good old chisel discipline. Now, one thing that I think I'm gonna go ahead and do with this, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and outline scribe the inside of the notch itself, and I'll show you kind of how this really comes to life and looks really damn good. Just get this line cleaned out here first. Ooh, yeah, this is so nice. This little outline, or inline, I guess, just really makes everything look separated, looks really, really good. Really nice. All right, and then just reinforce this line right here. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. All right. So let's take a looky look. All right, come on, get on there. Focus, focus, focus. Yeah, see, you can see that outline or inline scribe. But yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. Yeah, it's such a small little detail, but man, it's the little things. It's the little itty bitty intricacies that just set the whole model off, right? It's the little ones. So just that little pop of detail right there at the tail end, it just shows you that, you know, no detail is too small. You know what I mean? So that, yeah, that's looking real good. Now, one thing I want to do here, let's get this cleaned up because I see a little bit of super glue, I think, from a previous attempt at gluing or something. There we go. That's better. All right. So one thing that I want to do next is add a couple of notches, just wrap around notches on the top here. Nothing crazy, just something somewhat simple, right? And what we're gonna do, we're gonna make measuring this super easy. So I'm just gonna use my ruler as a guide, hold my scribing jig right there, and then we're going to go to town, and we're just using 0.3, and we're just making just a little itty bitty wrap around notch, nothing crazy. Yeah. And it's just, again, it's a small, little, minute detail, right? Most people will never notice it individually, but as a whole, just that little, look at that, just that little pop right there. We're going to do one on the corresponding side, but just that little pop, just that little itty bitty pop, and we're going to put panel lining fluid in there, so it's going to be, you know, highlighted and everything. But man, just that little shot of detail is what sets these models apart from the norm, right? Just these little things, little attention to details. That is absolutely crucial. All right, and do the same thing here on this side. There we go. And if you guys haven't noticed, I feel like I'm starting to get that mojo back in terms of detailing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, there you go. Look at that. That looks good. That looks really, really good. No rhyme or reason to it. It's just these little pops of detail, you know? They're just little floating kind of notches just out there, just because. Purely aesthetic at this point, you know? And it's just, yeah, that really just kind of sets off the illusion of scale to this thing. And it just gives just enough detail on this boom arm that we don't really have to do anything more. The decals will take care of the rest, right? But in terms of physical details, man, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Hell yeah. All right, let's get caught up in the chat. Oh yeah, because we got a lot of chat to catch up on. What the hell? What are you guys talking about? Let's see. Javier, Mr. Gumpa, Uruguay, he says, just posted a couple pics on the community of test spoons I just painted using the Display paints. Okie dokie, let's take a lookie. Let me get YouTube pulled back up here. Channel, community. Let's see what we've got here. All right. Okie doke. Okay, so let's go display capture. And come on. Let's sort this by newest. There we go. Frickin' mouse. All right, look at this. Look at this. Ooh. Nice little, what is that? Gold plating is the color. Some little metallic gold here as well. Let's see what we got. First test runs with the Display paints, whatever. Metallics are a bit more lighter than what the camera is showing, and as for basic colors, I tried a really heavy coat. Unlike the other two colors, that orange yellow clearly needs a white or lighter yellow base color to pop. I'm very happy with these paints. Coverage is great. Let's see if they can run a scratch test in 24 hours. Ooh. Oh, look at here. Mecha red, ultra white. What is that? Orange, yellow? Is that the one? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, that definitely needs something more there. Huh. Let's see. Open image, new tab. Let's see if this... not much better, but still. YouTube just compresses and shrinks photos down like crazy. It's not even funny. But, man, that's nice coverage there on the red. I like that color. Hell yeah. Now, Javier, I have no experience with these. Are these acrylic, lacquer? What type of paint are these here? Let us know. But yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Let's see. Enrico says, Javier, what's up? How did you get those? Right? Well, they're in Uruguay, so yeah. Mike's with us. He says, "What's up, everyone?" Mike has a question.
We have a question.
He says, "What physical store sells a supersonic cleaner?" A supersonic cleaner, I don't know. But an ultrasonic cleaner, you can go to Harbor Freight. I think Harbor Freight's, depending on the size of your Harbor Freight, probably will have the ultrasonic cleaners. This is mine that I got from good old Harbor Freight. I'll go camera one here to show you. Just this thing. This is the, Chicago Electric Power Tools ultrasonic. I think this is 1-2 liter, something like that. I don't know what this is. But yeah, this is the one that I use, and I really, really like it, and it's really good, and it's lasted for a good number of years. So yeah, depending on the size of your Harbor Freight, that's the one you want. That's the one, because you can fit all your parts in there at the same time. You can fit large parts, like shields and things like that in there. You don't have to worry about space or anything like that, right? So let's see. Bill says, "How big? Lowe's and even Walmart sell them." Yeah, but they're usually, I think, smaller in that case. There's Andrew. Yep, Harbor Freight. He says, "Not too big, but big enough to fit perfect grade size parts." Yeah, you definitely want the big boy Chicago one there. So, yeah. Yep. Let's see. Bill says, "Budget less than 100." Yeah, that was less than 100. I think that was like 65, something like that. Not sure, but yeah. Let's see. Bill says, "Okay, let me get you a couple of options." See, there we go. Eris is with us. He says, "Hello, Tim and chat. How are you, dude?" Enrico says, "That looks great. Thank you." Hey, there's Lelouch, Mr. Brian. What's going on, bud? He says, "I am here, my peeps." Welcome. Let's see. Enrico says, "I'm a sucker for that kind of detail." Oh, yeah, these little itty bitty. Oh, shit, I'm not. Camera two. Son of a bitch. Yeah, just these little itty bitty details, man. They just set off the entire piece. It's just awesome. And then you look up at the front here and this whole scribing pattern. It's just, yeah. It's so good in my opinion. I'm so happy with it. And yeah, just jived by it. So, anywho, Andrew says, "Nice. Harbor Freight has a Bauer brand compact router in both corded and cordless options." Depending on the size of the battery, I tend to go cordless, but a handheld trim router is so small already that the bulk of the battery, especially on the top, makes the whole thing top heavy. My Rigid is a corded version, and honestly, with the size of it, I don't think I would want a battery-powered version, although it is super convenient. Don't get me wrong. And the corded version may be cheaper too, Andrew. And the other thing about a corded version is it has constant power. As that battery drains, that does start to gradually lose the horsepower in the motor turning that thing. But if in a corded version, you have constant power, that's not going to diminish at all. And you don't have to worry about the battery dying or anything like that. Not that that's a big deal, especially with modern batteries and everything. But still, it depends on what your needs are. Me personally, I'd go corded for a tool like that. So, yeah. Let's see. Gumpla Deals is over there on Twitch. They say, I missed the first chunk of the stream. Did you use tape as a guide to rough that out, or is that freehand? With the little notch, this little guy right here, that's actually freehanded. Because this is a 2mm wide strip, and I used a 1mm wide chisel, so it wasn't really all that difficult. You just had to get it, nice and positioned on the first cut, which we did this nice little short, shallow end here, so that made it a lot easier. Tape probably really would not have worked with this thin of a piece. But then again, with this thin of a piece, it's much, much easier to get that centered. So freehanding, although risky and tricky, it's not as hard on a thinner width piece than, say, it is on a much wider piece to get it centered. So yeah, yeah, it's looking good. I'm fucking jazzed about this. Let's see. Brian, he says, hey Tim, hopefully I get to message you later this weekend. My question was some insight on the custom emblem I made for my first custom, but my file got corrupted from Photoshop, so I have to redo it. Oh, that fucking sucks, dude. Yeah, Brian, I'd love to take a look at it for you. That's my jam. I am all about the insignia, the logos, the markings, all of it, the symbology, all of it. That is totally my wheelhouse. So yeah, fire away and I will help you any way that I can, buddy. So good stuff. Enrico says, chillin', had the day off, nice, and wanted to go out and skate now that it's finally not raining over here, but woke up with a cold. Aw, fuck, dude. Sorry, Enrico. Yeah, I agree with Brian here. Summer colds suck. Yeah, they do. Big time. Mikey says, that's pretty nice find there, Bill. Thanks. Oh, see, Bill with the hookup. Oh, at Home Depot, too. What do we got here? What did Bill find? Geez, yeah, we still got a ways to go to catch up. What time is it? 11:44? How is it so late? Oh, my God, you guys. Oh, shit, look at that. 2-liter. Oh, what? Oh, that's a Vivor. That's why. Okay, yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. For $40? What? For $40? For a 2-liter? Hold up. Okay, hold up. Let me see something here. I wanna see what my mine from Harbor Freight is. What is it? Ultrasonic cleaner. There we go. Okay. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. No, well. So that's 7 wide by 6.5 deep. So it's a bit of a different orientation than the Harbor Freight, because the Harbor Freight one is wider. I originally bought it to clean the fuel tanks on the Hummingbird. Those things are fucking long. And also the smart, the smart rifle with it too. And that thing's long as shit as well. I don't think it would have fit inside the Vivor one from Home Depot. I mean, it really depends on what your needs are, Mike, because the Harbor Freight one is actually $99. Like, what? That went up in crazy prices, probably due to tariffs. But hey, what are you gonna do? But for $40, shit, that's a great price for an ultrasonic. So that's a good find there, Bill. Oh my goodness. Enrico says, we're in the winter down here, but agree. colds suck. He says, I hardly ever get sick, but the last 3 to 4 months I caught 1,000,000 colds. Well, you work with kids, and they're dirty little animals, so it's not surprising, Enrico. Bill says most stores sell them through a third party, so they aren't in stores unless they are really small. You kind of want a jewelry supply store. Yeah. Mikey says, okay, Bill, thanks. Nice. Brian says, hey, Bill, any recommendations on chamfering tools? I'm dealing with curvy, flat surfaces, so the hobby knife isn't cutting it. Chamfers on a curved surface? He says a circular flat piece. Oh, gotcha. Brian, how big are we talking about in terms of this circular flat piece? Because I may have ideas on that. Andrew says, all right, all, as much as I would have liked to stay and watch, I'm going to punch out. Got woken up early this morning from a bad migraine. Oh, that sucks. Renee woke up this morning to a migraine, so yeah, I understand what that's like there, Andrew. He says not too awake at the moment. Yeah, go get some sleep, buddy. Go get some sleep. Rest up. Andrew, take care, man. Take care. Bill says, okay, my method would be to grab an angle guide, place the flat part on a table upside down, run the angle guide along the edge to scrape the desired angle into that. That help? That's definitely a way. Hell yeah. Yep, Bill says, good night, Andrew. Javier says, these are water-based acrylics, according to them. Okay. So they're probably not going to be as strong as, say, your Mr. Color lacquers or things like that. So that's something to keep in mind. Great looking color collection, but still the fragility potentially. Javier's going to check the scratch test tomorrow. And Javier, get back to us, man. Let us know how that looks and how that performs. Brian says, I see, I'll try it out. I tested a spare piece with a hobby knife. It got so uneven, so I needed some ideas. Yeah, Brian, like I said, how big of a piece are we talking here? Let's see. Mike says, it's been a long day and it has not been kind to me. Aw, Mikey, you got the weekend here, man. Rest up, yeah? Gunpla Deals. They're over here on YouTube now. They say, this explains why the Twitch chat was so quiet. Yeah, Twitch is usually quiet. I got my lurkers over there on Twitch. They chime in every once in a while, but they like to watch. We love our Twitch guys. Let's see. Bill says cheapest one on Harbor Freight right now is $100. Yeah, but they run sales all the time, and the coupons too. Look in your local paper and stuff like that for the Harbor Freight circulars. You usually find a 20% off coupon, maybe even sometimes a 40% off coupon. It depends. Mike says the shield of the perfect grade new is as long as my forearm, by the way. Oh, God. Brian says, thanks, I'll take a look at them. Eric Bennett's with us. He's over there on YouTube. Doesn't matter to me as long as you need. I'm late, I know, though. And that's fine, Eric. We're always here, bud. Rundus, he's with us. He says, hey, everyone. Lost the face plate to my SD EX Wing Zero Endless Waltz, but went to my local shop and the owner gave me some ideas on how to scratch build my own. It's a bit simple since I'm bad, but it does the job. Hey, as long as it does the job, dude, that's all that it matters, right? As long as it does the job. Let's see, Brian says it's 1.5 inches in diameter, practically a plastic washer, but I have 3 to 4 to chamfer the edge. Okay, so they're small-ish. Now, Brian, the big question here is,
would it be the end of the world if you drilled a hole in the middle of these plastic disc things? Simply because what I'm thinking, and I've used this on many occasions, is to get you or make what's called a mandrel. Where is the little one here? Shoot. Ah, there it is. There it is. Okie dokie. So, let me show you what a mandrel is. This is a mandrel for a Dremel, right? Which is small. And what I've done in the past, and I'll kind of just, I'm just grabbing this as a explanation piece here, just because it already has a hole in it and it's kind of centered. But basically, drill a hole smack dab in the center and pop that right on your mandrel. Tighten that screw down so this thing doesn't spin or anything like that. And then what you can do, take a handheld drill here, right? And pop that sucker right in there. And crank that bitch down. And then what you can do, now what I'm gonna do is use the file, and I'm going to kind of first clip off the corners here, so I'm not gonna kill myself or my drill or my file. There we go. And you kind of have that shape going. It's not obviously a perfect circle, but what you can do is kind of, oh, see, it's not tightened down. That's what I was talking about. Tighten that thing down. Basically, it is a lathe, Bill. Yeah. It's very much a makeshift type of lathe. Yeah. Oh, this isn't gonna... There's not enough thread to catch. Nah, piece of crap. Yeah, there's not enough. This thing is... this piece of plastic is too thick, and there's not enough thread on the screw to really catch on the threads of the mandrel itself. Alright, so here. I'm just gonna quickly shape, rough shape this, just clip out, just a rough kind of circular shape, not really, but, close enough, something like that, right? It's not great, but it is what it is. And then, yeah, you get a drill bit that's basically the same size as the thread of your screw. And that's what I would use. I would use a screw and like a nut and washer to hold, kind of clamp the pieces in this kind of makeshift mandrel. I'm moving quick and dirty. I'm moving quick and dirty here with this demonstration. That's too big. Son of a bitch. Ah, here we go. This'll work. I forget I have these because I inherited them. That's the one. Yeah.
Look at this. Little Mr. Hobby drills in perfect metric sizes. Love this, right? Love that. Anyway, but yeah, so for everybody kind of playing at home, and you know, obviously Brian too. All right, we need a pilot hole there. And I'm just punching it with my little tungsten scriber here. Nothing crazy or anything like that. All right, there we go. And we are through. So basically, like I said, what you would want to use is a screw, washer, and a nut for this. And I'm just, like I said, just demonstrating at this point. Hopefully we got some good amount of thread to hold this guy down. Yeah, much better. Much better. All right. And there we go. Just make sure that's nice and tight on there. And it is. All right, here we go. And you can already see that start to kind of take shape there, right? Now, obviously this is down and dirty. And you can use sandpaper. There you go. And the closer that you have to round, obviously the easier it's going to be. Now, for Brian's purpose, what we're wanting to do is put a chamfer around this thing. So same type of thing. You got your scraper here, right? And just really low RPM, and that does the trick really nicely. And I'll show you here in a moment. Now, I probably should have loosened the nut or the screw on this before I took it out of the drill. Son of a bitch. There we go. But, and this is, like I said, this isn't a perfect circle because I didn't take my time with it, but you can see that chamfer around the top there in profile. And with it already being a perfect circle, you know, for Brian's, you know, he can just drill a small hole through that piece, crank that down on his, you know, kind of homemade mandrel and everything, and just go to town with like a file or something like that, you know, just like a, you know, like a bastard file or something. If you do have like a, you know, a ceramic scraper like this, that works too. You know, even something as simple as just, you know, a metal, flat metal piece, right? So something like this, even like a metal ruler would still, you know, kind of take a corner off of that plastic piece, just because the plastic is so much softer than the actual steel of the ruler and everything. So, you know, those are all options. But yeah, you're gonna get very uniform chamfers with running it through a drill or a lathe or what have you. So yeah, that would be the way that I would tackle it, but yeah. Gio says, good night, everyone. I'm throwing in the towel. Started working at 3 a.m. today. Holy crap. See you guys Monday. Gio, go get some rest, dude. My goodness. Bill says to Mike, you can also check out Sonic washers for 3D printing. Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too. Yeah. Mikey says, nice. This is what I use for my resin printer as an idea. He's got a link there. But yeah, Tim, are you suggesting him to make a lathe? Absolutely. 100%. Be unsafe. Let's see. Brian says, I see a makeshift lathe. I can definitely do that. I'm trying to make some crazy chainsaw blade gauntlets. What? My kid found an old 90s robot I had. He wanted some more weapons since it has none. Oh, shit. There you go. He says, oh, look at it. Oh, shit. He says, I have a mini lathe, but it's somewhere in the attic with a metric ton of other stuff. Oops. Well, there you go, dude. Time to pull it out, right? Time to pull it out. Sweet. All right, good deal. All right, kiddos, that's where we're gonna punch the clock for this evening. It's midnight, and I got shit I gotta do, but we got good detailing done, man. Just that little strip, that little notch at the back end here. Oh, that looks so good, and those little floating notches right there on the arm just adds so much flavor to it. So, anyway, you guys, I'll be back here on Monday with you in the evening, and it looks like by the polls we'll probably have a 5-minute run-up or intro and everything, so be prepared for that. That'll be a change, and we'll see kind of how that goes and everything. So, yeah. But aside from that, if you're out and about and you need some decals, go get you some. Yeah. And then also, if you need shirts, hats, hoodies, anything like that, Child of Mecha Store, shop.childofmecha.com. Look at the new arm design. Ooh, that looks good. The EFSF, the Federation shield that I designed. Hey, I love the look of that. But yeah, man, shop.childofmecha.com. Go support your boy. I really appreciate it and everything. Worldwide shipping too. Don't be afraid of that. Yeah, you guys, so be safe out there. Go build something cool, and I will see you on Monday. Stay tuned for the end credits. See you guys.